You used the same charcoal, same fire starters, and you still ended up 75 degrees over your target temperature before the meat even hit the grate. I'll tell you what went wrong. I'm Dave, and this is Austin's Kamado Joe Masterclass. A friend of mine had 10 people over for smoked brisket. He set up his Kamado Joe and got the dome stable at 225 degrees Fahrenheit, put the brisket in, and walked away confident. He never knew the temperature had moved. 10 hours later, the bark was overdone, the flat was dry, and 10 people pushed brisket around their plates while he apologized for it. That can happen to anyone, but it doesn't have to. Let's talk about some of the common mistakes and how to avoid them. Mistake number 1, adjusting both vents together. The top and bottom vents on a Kamado Joe do different things and should be adjusted separately. Before you can control the temperature, you have to understand how a ceramic cooker works. Unlike a gas grill, a Kamado Joe doesn't have a dial. It's a natural draft convection oven, and the temperature inside the dome is determined by one thing: airflow. The burning charcoal in the bottom produces direct radiant heat that heats up the air inside the Kamado Joe. Hot air expands and rises. As that hot air moves up through the cooking chamber, it exits through the control tower top vent. That creates a low-pressure zone inside the grill, which pulls in fresh air through the bottom vent. Fresh air feeds the fire. The fire burns hotter. More air rises, more air is pulled in. That is the convection cycle. The shape of the Kamado Joe is designed to maximize this effect. It's incredibly efficient and is why the Kamado Joe can hold a steady temperature for 12 hours or more on a single load of charcoal. The temperature inside the dome is directly proportional to the volume of air moving through it. More air in means more oxygen to the fire, and that means more heat. Less air in equals less oxygen and therefore less heat. That's it. The bottom vent controls how much air enters the Kamado Joe and fuels the fire. Think of it as the main throttle. The control tower top vent controls how fast air exits, allowing you to control the upward draft and make precise temperature adjustments. Think of this as the fine-tuning button on a car's cruise control. It can gently nudge the temperature up or down. These two vents work together to maintain a given temperature. The bottom vent determines how much fuel the fire can burn. The top vent helps you stabilize and control the temperature. Today I'm going to show you exactly how to control the temperature on your Kamado Joe. First with just the vents, and then with a temperature control device that eliminates the guesswork. So let's set up the fire. Step 1, determine your target temperature range. Most Kamado Joe cooking falls into one of 3 zones: low and slow at 225 to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. That's for brisket, pork shoulder, beef ribs, that sort of thing. Roasting, 325 to 450 degrees. That's great for chicken, turkey, baked sides, and desserts. Then there's high heat searing, 500 degrees Fahrenheit and above. Perfect for steaks, burgers, and pizza. The temperature zone that you choose determines where you set the bottom vent once the fire is established. Step 2, light the charcoal. For low and slow cooking, light the charcoal in just one spot. You want a small fire that you can control. Place a single fire starter in the center of your charcoal. A large fire is just too hard to control for low and slow cooking. If you're roasting or searing, then make a larger fire and use 2 or 3 fire starters. Leave both vents wide open and leave the lid open. Let the fire establish for 10 minutes. Look for a clean burn, thin blue smoke barely visible, not thick white smoke. White smoke means incomplete combustion, and that means off flavors on whatever you cook. After 10 minutes, close the lid. Step 3, set the bottom vent first. For low and slow cooking, open it about 1 inch. For roasting temperatures, open it halfway, and for high heat searing, open it fully. Set it and leave it alone. Step 4, control the temperature with the top vent. The control tower regulates how fast hot air exits, which determines the strength of the updraft pulling air through the bottom vent. Here's how to stabilize the grill at a specific temperature. When the dome thermometer is about 50 degrees below the target temperature, start adjusting the top vent. For low and slow cooking, close the top vent down to 1/2 of an inch. That provides a small opening, just enough to maintain the draft without letting too much heat escape. As the temperature rises toward the target, close the top vent in small increments, about 1/8 of an inch at a time. Temperature changes in a ceramic grill are not instant. The ceramic walls absorb heat energy slowly and release it slowly. Make an adjustment, wait 5 minutes for the grill to stabilize, then determine if additional adjustments are necessary. Mistake number 2, not letting the ceramic walls heat up before cooking. That brings me to step 5. Once the temperature is stable, let the grill soak up the heat for 20 to 30 minutes before you begin to cook. Here's why it matters. Because the walls are still absorbing heat, if you put your meat on now, the temperature inside the dome will fall. If you open the vents to compensate, you will overshoot your temperature by 30 to 40 degrees when the walls are finally saturated with heat. Once those ceramic walls are saturated, they provide a very stable cooking environment. When you open the dome to put your meat on, the temperature will drop for a moment, but it will recover quickly because the walls are saturated. Mistake number 3, thinking the dome temperature is the same as the grate temperature. The built-in dome temperature on your Kamado Joe does not give you the temperature at the grate. It reads the temperature at the top of the dome, where the hottest air collects. The difference between that and the temperature at the grate can be 25 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit. To fix this, you need a temperature probe at grate level that will register the temperature your meat will be cooking at. More on that later. We're on to step 6. From now on, we adjust only the top vent. If your temperature is 15 degrees too high, close the top vent 1/8 of an inch. If it's 15 degrees too low, open it 1/8 of an inch. Do not adjust the bottom vent. Just make the adjustment to the top vent, wait 5 minutes, then reassess and make additional adjustments if necessary. Now let's talk about what happens when things go wrong. Assume you were cooking ribs at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. If you open your dome to spritz your ribs and had it open for a few minutes, 10 minutes later the thermometer says it's 310 degrees Fahrenheit. You've overshot your temperature by 60 degrees. Instinct will tell you to open the dome and let the heat out. Don't do that. That's actually what caused this problem. When you open the dome, hot air will escape, but cold, oxygen-rich air will flood in and cause the fire to surge. Here's the right move. Close the top vent almost entirely. Leave it open about 1/8 of an inch. Close the bottom vent to about 1/4 of an inch. Now wait. Let the fire choke down naturally over 10 to 15 minutes. Remember, ceramic grills are slow to heat up and slow to cool down. Once it comes back down to where you want it, reset the vents. One important variable that you need to consider is the wind. A 15-mile-per-hour gust hitting your bottom vent instantly changes the draft pressure inside the Kamado Joe. It forces air through the vent faster than intended. The temperature climbs and you close the top vent to compensate. Then the wind stops and the fire goes out. If you're cooking in wind, position your grill so that the bottom vent faces away from the breeze. Better yet, position your grill behind a wall. If the wind is strong and consistent, close your bottom vent about 1/4 of an inch more than you normally would. If your temperature won't stabilize no matter what you do with the vents, a worn gasket is probably the reason. A tight seal is essential for good temperature control. The fiberglass gasket that seals the dome to the base is the most overlooked component on the Kamado Joe. Over time, it gets compressed and caked with grease and smoke residue. Eventually, gaps will form. A bad gasket seal introduces uncontrolled air that bypasses your bottom vent entirely, and no amount of adjustment can fix a leak. Smoke escaping around the rim of the dome is a dead giveaway. A replacement gasket is not expensive and takes an hour to install. With a proper heat soak and manual vent control, you can hold a steady temperature on your Kamado Joe. Having said that, it's easier to hold a steady temperature when roasting or searing, basically anything above 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Maintaining a constant temperature for low and slow cooking, 225 to 275 degrees Fahrenheit, is more difficult and requires precision. A 15-degree swing might not sound like much, but over 12 hours, it compounds. The bark sets differently, the fat renders differently, and holding a temperature within a 5-degree window manually requires constant attention. It takes the fun out of it. And overnight cooks? Ha, not fun at all. This is where a temperature control device changes everything. I now use the FireBoard Drive. Here's how it works. You set your target temperature in the app. The FireBoard then monitors the ambient probe temperature at the grate. When the temperature drops below your target, it turns on a small fan installed in the bottom vent. When the temperature is back where it should be, the fan shuts off. It'll hold the temperature plus or minus a few degrees until the charcoal goes out. To be honest, if you only cook burgers and steaks and chicken thighs and wings, high heat short cooks, you don't need a temperature controller. But if you like to cook brisket, pork shoulder, beef ribs, pork ribs, turkey, chicken, or anything that takes more than a few hours, a temperature controller is the difference between anxiety and grill mastery. Watch my video on why you need a FireBoard for more information. I do a very detailed review in that video. A link is in the description. Learn to manage airflow on a Kamado Joe and you will be rewarded with consistent, predictable results every time you light the grill. I invite you to check out my Kamado Joe Owner's Handbook. This is a 100-plus page book that I've written that covers everything you need to know about operating the Kamado Joe, including setup, seasoning, temperature control, troubleshooting, maintenance, and a lot of other pro tips and techniques. Leave a comment below and let me know if you use a temperature controller device, and if so, which one. Hey, if you liked the video, let me know. And please subscribe and turn on notifications. Watch my Kamado Joe 101 playlist right now.